for this week's theme, it's going to be about weddings. It's like how to unleash the benefits of advertising to brides to be. So I'm going to give you 5 great reasons why you should be investing in connecting with brides and connecting with that particular industry. So without further ado, let's go. So reason number 1, brides are a walking and talking advertisement. I don't know about you, but I don't know a bride who isn't happy or hasn't been happy to say her I do's. She is enamored with the entire experience from the planning and preparation, and she wants to have that day go perfectly. So in order to make it happen perfectly, she's telling everybody. She's telling her brother, her sisters, her coworkers, the post office guy, the people at the restaurant, other brides. She is super excited. So, I mean, just the fact that you have someone that's super excited about an event, and they have this amazing energy and this amazing glow about them, and then they take that on the road, and you're a part of that journey. There's nothing better than to have someone that's super excited and shouting the praises to your amazing services. So I think, that walking and talking advertisement is really underrated in terms of just advertising, in terms of marketing, in terms of connecting with people. So I think that's definitely a great talking point. Okay. So reason number 2, and this is also another thing that I kind of think that's overrated, and that is the bridal party. A lot of times in terms of marketing, dentists will talk about free teeth whitening, but free teeth whitening without a connection to anything doesn't really mean anything to anybody. So like, imagine this. It's the fall, it's football season, and they're on the radio talking about the latest events. And I'm going to give a football analogy. And they say, we're giving away free football tickets, and that's it. Or we're going to have a free, trying to give some analogies, but I think the free football tickets is kind of broad enough for this particular example. And you're like, well, I'm not listening to this. It's talking about free football tickets. Whereas if you said free Eagles tickets or free Texans tickets, that is very specific, and that it drives traffic for that particular fan, for that particular fan base, and it's going toward that. And it's the same thing with the dental practice. So when you're offering your free teeth whitening, it's really good to talk about something specific. So you can say a bridal party teeth whitening. And so that is very specific. It's for people that are getting married, and it is something specific around that industry and that event. And so they know when they hear it, bridal party, the ears start ringing and it goes off, and people are going to be more enamored with that and more interested in finding out what happens along those lines, and want to inquire with your practice. And the good thing about that is the bridal party, I mean, when people are getting married, it's not just them getting married. It's not just the bride and the groom, or the bride and the bride, or the groom and the groom, depending on your situation. It is the experience of the entire community. So you have the bridesmaids and the bride's family, you have the groomsmen and the groom's family. All of those people are going to be on that destination for the wedding. And as part of that destination, nobody wants to look out of place in the photos and those videos that are coming up on those days. You don't want to go back and review the video. It's like, oh man, I wish I would have stopped by the dentist. So no, that's a great opportunity for people to seek out you and to seek out your service as a dental practitioner. Also, so I guess that I'm going to use that to segue into reason number 3. And reason number 3, I'm going to have to say, are those picture perfect smiles. There's a lot that goes into a wedding and capturing a wedding day. I mean, people spend a lot on the environment, on the atmosphere, and they want to capture that. Wedding photographers, I mean, we got married a few years ago, if you would, and they're not cheap. I mean, granted, it's a lot of work that goes into the photography process and the videography process, and sometimes you have crews of people. The cost of that can be anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000, depending on the caliber of the wedding event. And the last thing that you want to see is some plaque on your teeth while you're smiling and you're doing your wedding photos. So I think in terms of having those picture perfect smiles, it's definitely a great selling point for that type of event. There's no beating around the bush. Everybody wants a great smile on that day. And in order for them to fully take advantage of that amazing event and to capture it perfectly, they're going to want a great smile to go along with that. All right. So reason number 4. So one of the things that is super important is patient retention. I think that patient retention is one of those things that aren't understood very well by a lot of practices. And so in business format, we call that the LTV, or lifetime value. And typically the lifetime value of a patient, based on the ADA, these are not my numbers, is about $15,000. So that wedding that you promoted, that you highlighted in your advertisement campaign, it can be about $15,000, and that's basically the lifetime of the patient is from 7 to 10 years, and the average patient spends about $5,000 to $6,000 over that 7 to 10 years, and then they make an average of 2 referrals. So that's how we get to about 15,000. But think about it this way: that patient, they're getting married, so they're a little bit different from the standard patient that just shows up to the practice. So they're getting married. They may bring their spouse into the situation. They are going to, or may have children, and at some point the children may become part of your practice as well, because you are the de facto or the go-to for that. So I mean, in terms of the I do's to the I still do's, I think that is another amazing reason for you to get involved with the bridal and the wedding based industries, because it's such an integral part of people's lives as they move forward beyond that date. So think about this: if you went to a shop and they did a great job, and they did everything that you wanted to, and it was just fabulous, wouldn't you go back to that shop? And it's the same thing about your dental practice. So I think that, reason number 4 is really important, especially in terms of the longevity of your practice and growing your brand. And I'm going to say that to segue into reason number 5. So going back to the fact that weddings involve so many different moving parts, I think that another underrated aspect of being a part of weddings is that there are other brands, there are other vendors there. So like I mentioned about the photographers are there. They're going to take amazing pictures. The videographers, they're there. They're going to take amazing pictures. But there's also, depending on the type of event, there may be catering staff. There may be cooking staff in terms of like catering food and that sort of thing. There's the venue as well. There's so many different moving parts that go into this, and it's its own ecosystem. So a lot of these vendors, the caterers and the security and the photographers and the videographers, they know each other, or at least they know of each other. And so sometimes when there's gaps in terms of performance, the businesses may reach out to each other. It's like, oh, the caterers fell through. Well, I have another person. And it's the same thing with the wedding smiles for the day. So as part of that ecosystem, your dental practice is certainly part of that. And when people are coming into the mix for the wedding and your client has this amazing radiant smile, they're going to see it. And in addition to that, I almost forgot the families are going to be there. They're going to see it. Their neighbors, their church members, their congregation, their other family members. They are going to see such the amazing work that you did on their smile that they're going to inquire about how did you get this amazingly radiant smile. And that is an opportunity for them to talk about their amazing dentist, which they will, because you've provided such an amazing service. So anyway, those are my 5 tips for today. I think that I really like this format, and we're going to continue to run with this format for the next few weeks. And I'd love to hear your thoughts, your comments about the format, about what we're doing here. Just put them in the comments below. And then also, if you want to follow us on our journey, don't forget to like and to subscribe to us on this particular channel. And if you happen to stop by our website, visit teetharenot.tools.com and download a free marketing checklist. That checklist is pretty amazing because it also allows us to kind of condense and give you guys some actionable tips and pointers that you can use to help enhance and to grow your business. All right, guys, thanks for your time. Have a wonderful and amazing day, and I will see you all next week.